evening. Good to have you with us on the 9 p.m. edition of the Urban Debate. The Indian Union Muslim League, IUML, has always been in the debate for one or the other reason. But what has happened now has been really disappointing and so brazen that one wonders what exactly is going on. The women leaders of this political party raised an issue about how their male counterparts in IUML were using abusive language against them, but essentially using derogatory language and abusing their own female counterparts. 3 of them passing off lewd comments, derogatory and insulting language. So the women's wing leaders actually asked the IUML leadership to take action. They went to their own party leadership and then they complained and said, you must take action. But the party leadership didn't. Not surprisingly, it happens in almost all the sectors and industries. Political parties are no different. When often these uncomfortable complaints are ignored, especially when they come from the women. And so, the women leaders decided to approach the Women Commission and give an official complaint against their own party members. This is when finally the party leadership woke up. They tried to pacify, convince these women leaders to withdraw their complaint. They didn't try to fix the matter or solve the matter or do justice. Then they came up with a settlement plan where they said, we will ask the so-called male leaders who have been accused of this to express regret on social media, and you go ahead and withdraw your complaint. Express regret on social media. By then, the women had decided that they are not going to back off. So guess what the party did? They disbanded the wing itself. They said nothing doing. This youth wing for women is not needed. You're all indisciplined. You're all problematic characters. We don't need it at all. We will now create a new wing and a new committee. But this Harita State Committee is not required. You are indisciplined, acting against the party's interest. The IUML leadership, rather than resolving the issue, actually just got rid of the entire Harita committee. Their allies in the state of Kerala, Congress party, are maintaining a stoic silence. For all the grandstanding that Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi do on several issues, including women issues and women equality and gender rights, they have not uttered a word about what their own ally has done here. Obviously, the rival party BJP has jumped on this opportunity, questioned not just the IUML but also the Congress party, and said and highlighted how the women wing has been disbanded for speaking up against harassment. Simple question that the BJP is asking is, if they don't approach the Women Commission, their own party leadership, then where are women supposed to go with their complaints? Tonight, I want to talk about it. Already, it's a big issue that many of these political parties, most of them actually, don't even have a proper grievance redressal system. Don't even have a proper posh committee system as it is in the corporate sector. Often, complaints by women politicians, women party leaders, women party workers, the cadre, go unheard. They can either continue living like that and accept it as a part of their life and political life, ignore the derogatory commentary, ignore the sexist remarks, ignore the harassment and the extremely disturbing behavior because work is important. Or they can raise their voice, which leads them to the point where the party decides to disband their entire unit altogether. How is this okay in our country? And why is there not a bigger conversation about this issue? I say good evening to George Kurian, General Secretary for BJP in Kerala. Lieutenant Commander Gokul joins me this evening. Subhashni Ali, CPIM leader, Vice President of All India Democratic Women Association, and Brinda Adige, women rights activist, also joining me this evening. And I actually want to start off with Brinda Adige on this one. We've repeatedly spoken, Brinda, about how voices of women often get suppressed. And it seems it's true for all political parties. So when women politicians decided to approach a commission, somebody who could hear their voice, their entire unit got disbanded.
Such a shame, a country like ours that is talking about the constitutional rights of women has this Muslim body, Muslim League, that chooses to disband the women's wing on a pretext of indiscipline, while not willing to take any action on the disrespectful, humiliating, insulting manner in which their male workers have behaved. What do they think? They think that they are not part of the Indian constitution, that these women cannot avail their entitlements that they are being guaranteed by the Indian constitution. And what are these excuses they are giving? Are they trying to ape and imitate one of our neighboring countries that has also decided to have gender apartheid, not having women come out anywhere in front, not go to college, not talk, not speak, not be seen anywhere? What do these people think of themselves? I do hope that the NCW will take cognizance of what has happened. But I also would like the Kerala government to take suo motu action. Human Rights Commission and the Women's Commission, but the government also. This is not something that they have land of their own. They can have an institution, then they will ban something, then they will disband something because it is women who have complained against them. The women will complain to the state agency only. The women cannot complain to their God just now, whichever God it might be. And the state agencies will take action as per the laws of the land.
Yes, and most importantly, when you go to your own party leadership and they don't hear you to begin with, they don't react to what you have to say, you are forced to go outside, forced to complain to the Women Commission, and then you are thrown out. I mean, Suhasini Ali, I'm still trying to, wrap my head around this, that the party decided to shut the wing in the name of indiscipline.
Yes, I'm listening to you. Yes, I'm listening to you.
But chose not to act against these men. What explains this mindset?
My point is, first of all, I would like to really express my great appreciation of the courage of these young women. It's a very difficult battle that they're fighting. And I'm very happy to see that they're not getting cowed down by the threats that are being held out against them. And our women's organization in Kerala, EDWA, has supported them. They have met them. They have talked to them. They are giving them every kind of support that they want. So whatever these young women want from others, that we will try to do, whatever it is that they are demanding. Right now, they have gone to the State Women's Commission. The Women's Commission has taken cognizance of it, and we'll see what they're going to do. And whatever else these young women want the government of Kerala or other agencies to do, certainly that will be done. We are very much in touch with them. But I would just like to say, I want to respond to something that Brinda said. We don't have to go to neighboring countries to see terrible things happening to women. Very recently, just a week ago, a young woman self-immolated herself in front of the Supreme Court because she had brought a rape charge against a BSP leader, an MLA, and she was not getting justice, so she actually killed herself. So we should also look inwards. Terrible things are happening in our own country. Women are really denied justice, and we are seeing more and more that women victims or women survivors of horrendous physical attacks and other kinds of attacks are actually being victimized by the very agencies that are supposed to be protecting them. So, this is something that is of great concern to all of us. Very recently, just now in Delhi, a young woman who was working as a sort of a government, what should I say? She was working in the government civil defense organization. She was brutally raped and murdered, and the police refused to listen to her parents. They were not even ready to register a case. And now women's organizations have stepped in. There's been a hue and cry, and now I think some sort of case has been registered.
Right.
So there are too many examples in our own country of women's voices being silenced and women not being listened to. So we all need to stand in solidarity with these young women in Kerala
But,
whose own party has victimized them and has disbanded their organization. We need to tell them that we're all standing in solidarity with them and that we will do whatever they feel is necessary on our part to get them
well,
justice.
if they choose to have a different kind of a political ideology or leaning and they choose to change political parties for that reason, perhaps your party can actually help them. I don't know how else you can. I mean, we can all express solidarity, but at the end of the day, and here, which is why I have a larger question, Subhashini Ali. How many political parties in our country today have a organized grievance redressal system for women,
Well,
where
my
women
party
can
does.
go and raise complaints
CPI
of
does
sexual
in every
harassment?
one of our offices, in every one of our offices, because we have had very bitter experiences, unfortunate experiences. So, as far as the CPIM is concerned, I'm not saying we're perfect, but we do have a grievance mechanism for the party center, for the districts, and for the state units also. And they have been approached whenever such things need to be taken up. I can't speak for other political parties.
Okay, let me take that question across. So, Lieutenant Commander Gokul joining me right now. Lieutenant Commander Gokul, not only has what IUML done shameful, and I do not, I have no other words to really describe it. I am also disappointed that the Congress party won't speak up against it. Neither does the Congress party have its own organized grievance redressal system. There is no concept of posh committees in most political parties today. How are we going to push women further in politics if we continue to behave in this manner?
Good evening
BJP
to all
doesn't
my
have
fellow
any.
panelists.
BJP doesn't
BJP
have it
doesn't have any
either.
grievance.
Yes.
No, no grievance
Yeah,
mechanism there either.
yeah. Good evening to my fellow panelists. In this case, I have to divide it into two parts. One is the criminal angle to it, and one is the political angle to it. As women, today we are considering women to be part of NDA. We are accepting them in defense forces, and at the same time, we have got a bad news from Kerala. And I totally agree that the women should have been heard out. They should have been addressed their issues, and they should have stood. The leaders should have stood with this young woman. I don't know exactly what happened there. Exactly what is the issue that has not come out. The woman has not spoken out exactly what happened. Whatever it is, whatever small or big the issue might be, the woman should have been given the proper respect. The political angle of it. When we discuss about the Indian Union Muslim League deciding to shut their Harida unit, it is up to them. It is up to, because if you see in Muslim League,
They have shut
generally
it
they
on
never.
grounds of indiscipline because
Yeah,
women spoke up
yeah,
against
yeah.
harassment.
Yeah, let me complete. Let me complete. Usually, Muslim League never encourages women to come to the forefront. They had only two people, only two times they had a candidate for assembly election, and even for local body elections, they are forced to field women candidates because there is a woman reservation in local body elections. Otherwise, the Muslim League had never encouraged women to come to the front. Somehow they had started the Harida unit for that is also separate. If you see in all other political parties, the student wing is same. There is no separate woman wing and men wing for a student body of any political party. But here also, what they did, they didn't want to bring men and women together, and so they started a separate wing for women. So now they have decided they don't want women in politics. They don't want women voices. Well, well and good. But then, as my fellow panelists pointed out, the political party has not taken any stand. So the government, the Women's Commission, and even the court if the election commission,
No.
they should all come together and they
Right
should
now,
put an end to
what the court should do or the government should do is a completely different matter. What should the political parties themselves do?
Yeah.
Why should
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
you say IUML has never had this concept? Firstly, I don't think we should be very patting their backs that at least they attempted to bring in a
I'm not
women wing
patting.
or give them a chance.
No.
Because at the first instance of what they thought was trouble and women speaking up, which didn't go down very well with them, they decided to shut the wing down. My question to you is this not a place where Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who now has such a clear connection with Kerala as well, with Priyanka Vadra, who otherwise finds ways to speak up about how BJP is against women and silences the voices of women, why are they not talking? Why should Congress party still be an ally of this IUML?
Okay, I will come to that. Okay, you know why these problems never get solved? Why the women never get justice? Because of people diluting the issues, taking the name of Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi. When we are discussing a certain case, why should you bring in Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi and dilute and divert the case? We are all in one voice. We are asking for justice for this woman. Nobody is denying it. But suddenly you want to divert the topic by bringing in the name of Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi.
I will tell you why, Lieutenant Commander Gokul, because firstly, all of us standing and demanding justice is not going to bring them justice when the viewpoint you just mentioned is that it's up to the IUML. It's their decision whether they want to continue with this wing or not. So clearly, you don't want them to act any differently. Secondly, it is Mr. Rahul Gandhi who, as one of the biggest political faces in this country, continues to take this grand stand that he stands for equality and for women's rights and for giving voice to women in his party, and then looks the other way when his ally behaves in such a shameful manner. So why should I not question that?
Yeah, when the same thing happens in BJP also, Rahul Gandhi is not interfering. Did anyone ask why Rahul Gandhi is not interfering in the internal affairs of BJP? Recently in Tamil Nadu, you know what happened? KT Raghavan, the senior BJP leader from Tamil Nadu, he was caught in such a crime and he was exposed by his own party members. Mr. Madan Ravichandran and Venva, both BJP members had brought this out. And you know what BJP did? They removed both of them from the party for bringing out allegations against KT Raghavan. So did you demand why Rahul Gandhi is not speaking for Venva? So you are making it political, please.
No,
my request to you all
I
is
think
don't make it. See, this is a
I don't have to
issue.
demand him to, because there are many others who will question, and he will not miss the opportunity, considering women empowerment is so close as an issue to him. But BJP is not his ally. IUML is. Politically, they are a team. They work together. They don't work together with such people and such political parties whose ideas don't work with you. I mean, tomorrow, if Rahul Gandhi starts fighting elections with the BJP, I'll make him accountable for BJP as well. But let me bring in the BJP. George Kurian, the point that is being made here is also examples being cited to show that all political parties pretty much behave in the same way when it comes to women politicians.
How can you say that it is all parties? And can you show any complaint against BJP? Mr. Gogul was telling about something else. No complaint was there. Some relations was there. And party has taken action against these people. And see in Kerala, this IUML. You must understand what is IUML. They helped this Rahul Gandhi to be elected from this Wayanad constituency. He got elected from Wayanad constituency only because of IUML. Otherwise, he would have lost. That is why he is now. And the other man is getting angry. And I can assure that Rahul Gandhi won't say anything about IUML. And what is this party? This is a conservative party. They never give seats to women to assembly or Lok Sabha. And they connect this religion and politics in Kerala. And next to that, IUML is Jamaat-e-Islami. Next to that is Popular Front. Then it is IS. That is the connection in. That is why so many people, educated people, young people went to Syria for helping joining this IS. The starting point is IUML. They are always telling about these religious things and religious discipline and about these ladies or women also. That is why they won't allow these women to react, contest election. And that is a conservative party. This name is Muslim League. It is Jinnah's party. And everybody understand what they will do. And it is happening in Kerala. Congress party and Rahul Gandhi is supporting this Muslim League. If this Rahul Gandhi says something against IUML, there won't be any Congress in Kerala. They are completely dependent on this Muslim League in Kerala. That is why they are telling in All India politics or somewhere else. Congress
Okay, I will get Lieutenant Commander Gokul to respond to that in just a bit. But tell me, Mr. George Kurian, if not at the national level, which they don't, but does the BJP, Kerala BJP, have a posh committee set up? Do you have a system for complaints of harassment and sexual harassment by women and how it is to be resolved? You don't.
Yes, it is from the booth to this our core committee. It is there, and each and every unit, this system is there, and it is compulsory that each and every unit, this women should be there.
So you have an ICC core committee that looks at these complaints?
Yes. No. Every level it is there, and whenever the complaint come, we consider it.
So who are the committee members? For Kerala's BJP, who is the head of it, and who are the committee members of this ICC?
ICC members, all members, I should say now.
No, sir, that's not how it works, Mr. George Kurian. You may want to go and look up the rules of how ICC is to be constituted and how it has to function.
No. Mrs. Nivedita,
this is not a generic question to you, Mr. George Kurian, as to whether you hear the voices of women or not. That's not what I'm asking you.
No, I will say, Advocate Nivedita is the head of that. I don't remember all names. Advocate Nivedita, she is the head of this committee. And she is heading the committee. I don't remember all names.
Okay. If you say so, let me go across to Lieutenant Commander Gokul, who wanted to respond to your comment. Yes.
Yeah, just in few words. See, when we are talking about women empowerment and protection of women, this type of talks, you are talking about ISIS, you are talking about Taliban, you are talking about all such things. This is not going to help. So my humble request is, two of our eminent panel, we have two former NCW people who are sitting here. They will also understand the pain. Please don't bring politics into it. We will discuss in a right way. We will talk for justice. We will talk. Don't bring Rahul Gandhi, Muslim League, Congress, and all these things. And again, I request, don't dilute and divert this. Let us speak for these people. And let us say unanimously, let us say all political parties should take action. We will not single out any one party. No political party in India has that proper guidelines which is being followed for protection of human rights.
Then so make a difference.
Let us come forward.
Please start. Why do you need other political parties to do? Do it in your own house. Do it for your own political party. Quick comment from Brinda DK also on this aspect. Brinda DK, an issue that actually came to the fore when several of the women MPs and parliamentarians also raised it and spoke about how none of these political parties at that time had the ICC system within them. Going beyond that, is it a sign that when women speak up, parties like IUML still refuse to move ahead with times and listen to them?
You're right, Tanvi. None of the political parties have the ICs constituted as per the law, as per the guidelines that have been set down. Show us in which of the political parties, whether it is the state or the national, that has the IC set up exactly like how the posh law has been framed. None of them can. They might have some committee, women committee, something like that, but not in the lines of posh. And that is exactly what needs to come into play immediately. Because if you are not having that, then on what basis would you ask other industries, other companies, and other institutions to have similar posh companies, posh committees? And when women, we are talking about women empowerment and we are talking about gender equality and opening wide, hopefully, the doors of political participation for women. If you do not have a space where they can come and share, report their grievance, how will more women come in? Every time women come in and talk about their colleagues or party workers or party leaders who may have misbehaved with them, spoken to them in a derogatory, insulting, humiliating manner, you summarily, because the party politics are all held, the positions of decision making are held by men in all of the party all political parties. You rarely have a woman who can make a political decision in that political party. So the first thing they would do is shut up the women. And that is exactly what political parties are doing. And so it is important that we ask which political party is aligning for women across the country with any other political party. Nobody. So there's nobody who's questioning. And like you mentioned, why isn't Rahul Gandhi questioning? For that matter, why isn't Smriti Irani questioning? Why aren't political party leaders demanding that women be given that space of respect and dignity first within the political parties? Give them the space, right of freedom of speech. And if they have to complain to the state commission or to the national commission, how dare any political party disband that wing? Because one of the panelists said it is their right. Sorry, it is not their right. They don't have compulsory mandatory power to just disband. They are registered within the framework of rules and laws constituted under the constitution of our country. So they simply cannot disband it because they got upset. The women have complained to the state body. If they don't complain to the state body, who else will they complain to?
Correct.
Because when they complain to the leaders over there, they did nothing. Where else will they go? They have to complain to the state agencies. How dare you just make them non-entities by disbanding them? The courts and the state agencies must pull up this party.
And I just want to say this. If we are actually genuinely as political parties and politicians standing up for change, standing up for equality and progressive thoughts, then we can't go around aligning ourselves with parties like the IUML. IUML's defense can be, we are that conservative party that doesn't believe in giving the same platform, that believes it is okay to equate a women politician's work to that of a prostitute and say, well, even a prostitute has views, go ahead and you speak up as well. One of the derogatory comments that was actually made, I don't even want to quote what the other things that were actually said. If the IUML party believes that men in their party can go ahead and make such comments, but the women cannot object to it, and if they object, they're out of the political party, they better be silenced, then that is up to the voters to decide whether they should vote for such a party or not. But it is not okay when the rest of the political class, when the rest of the society just watches this silently. It is not okay for national political parties like the Congress Party and its new gen leaders to silently watch as their vote-getter ally goes around behaving in such a manner. Break away your ties and then look the other way if you want. But if you intend to actually bring real change, then break your silence and take a stand. Take a stand for the women who said enough is enough. We will not hear this filth from our colleagues. And if our party leadership won't hear us out, we will go outside and we will demand justice. Stand with those women if you genuinely believe in giving space to the women across the board, including in politics. Then only will a real change come about. Thank you so much to the panelists for joining me on this conversation.